It's that time of the week again because Toronto FC are in town and we have some stuff to talk about of our upcoming match. We should be getting into this video. Let's get started. Good morning, RSL Nation. It's your favorite sports maniac and RSL fan, Dubino, and we are back with another Matchday preview. Toronto FC is in town this weekend, and Real Salt Lake will be hosting them tonight at America First Field. We'll have lots to talk about between the two teams and where we are at in the conference standings. Toronto being in Eastern, RSL in Western. Without getting more into details, let's just get straight into this game video. Let's roll the tape back to 2023, almost 2 years ago, where RSL traveled to Canada to play Toronto FC. And of course, nothing really broke down until the second half stoppage time came in, and then a simple tap in from Anderson Julio to secure RSL 3 points. And that's all it really took. Real Salt Lake will win on the road against Toronto FC, their second ever win at Toronto in their history. A massive 1-0 win, last minute goal by Anderson Julio to give RSL full 3 points in the MLS regular season play. Let's talk two players from Toronto FC that they need to keep a serious eye on. Let's start with the former Juventus player, Federico Bernardeschi. That guy has a lot of skill and a lot of talent on his feet. He'll be juking around players like crazy. Although he hasn't made a sudden impact for Toronto ever since he showed up to MLS, at least based off my point of view, I haven't seen him get as much goals as I'd expect him to, knowing that he was a star from Europe before coming to MLS. It's a bit of a downhill side, but I know how Bernardeschi can play. He can be very dangerous. He can score from outside the box at any point, and even as simple as the tap-ins can make him dangerous. He's going to be a serious one to keep an eye out for. Number 2 is going to be former Napoli star Lorenzo Insigne, a guy that I know him as for taking risky shots outside the 18-yard box, and he scores most of those almost all the time. So that'll be my RSL's defense is going to have to be prepared for those two Italian stars. Bernardeschi and Insigne are going to look absolutely dangerous on the wings. Those are my two players that RSL needs to watch for against Toronto this coming Saturday. Let's talk about our two players that Toronto will need to keep an eye on heading into this weekend after the 2-1 loss to Nashville. Let's see. Dominic Marksuk, guy can come up with assist. He got a goal, his first of the season last week, and he will be dangerous with the crosses, with the passes. He'll come up with dangerous buildups that almost results in goals, and he'll be absolutely dangerous for Toronto, for that offensive side. And Toronto's defense is something to keep an eye on, especially with the full 90 minutes coming in. And our second player that they'll need to keep an eye out for is probably a super sub in my opinion. He hasn't played as much games yet. Keep an eye out for Jesus Barea. Based off what I've seen, he's only played 2 games with RSL, actually 3 with RSL ever since he was selected from the Super Draft this year. He looked deadly off the bench. He's not afraid to take a shot. He looks dangerous. He scored a goal last week, which unfortunately got disallowed by the referee via VAR for offside, but Marksuk was offside. Anyways, up to the point. Jesus Barea looks like a freaking super sub, and he could get a goal or 2 when he comes off the bench. But out of all circumstances, out of respect, Maschereni, please start him this Saturday. We could use him. He can get a goal for us. He just looks so good. Give him a chance. Let's review the Eastern Conference standings first. Toronto sitting in 14th in the Eastern Conference with 4 points. This will be their 9th game of the season. They've lost 4 games and they've drawn 4 games. And they haven't won a game at all this year in 2025. So this is going to be a wake-up call. And Toronto will need to step it up. I know they have that potential to become great, but they just have yet to prove it. So they're going to have to step it up this game and hopefully make something worth out of it happen. Real Salt Lake, on the other hand, remains in 10th place. I apologize for butchering my lines for last week. I said they were in 11th, but they were really in 10th. After that loss to Nashville because of Neto and Palacio giving the game away, it really didn't make that big of an impact for RSL. Yeah, they did lose a big game. However, they didn't go up the table. They didn't go down. They sit exactly the same where they are before that game against Nashville. And that's where we are at in the Western and Eastern Conference standings for both Real Salt Lake and Toronto FC. It's prediction time for Real Salt Lake versus Toronto FC. And I expect a bit of a nail-biter. I think it's going to be a 1-goal game. RSL will win 1-0 against Toronto FC. If Mastroeni somehow benches Barea and then brings him on, he's going to be the one to score. I'm going to call it. Rookie. Yeah, his first of the season. I would love to see a goal from Jesus Barea this season. Probably more than 6. Because that kid has a lot of potential to become great in MLS. In this entire league, to be honest. He could even make a big move to Europe in the near future. We just need to see how much he can do on this field, because I think he's got a good chance of becoming great. Here's my prediction. 1-0 RSL win. Goal by Jesus Barea. Folks, that's going to do it for this match day preview. Real Salt Lake, my prediction, will win 1-0 thanks to a goal by Jesus Barea. Thank you guys for tuning in to another one of my YouTube videos. Subscribe if you're new. I'll leave a link to my TikTok in the description, as I post a lot of them there. And it's going to be a fun time. Until next time, RSL on top. Yes! Thanks for watching.